All right, good morning. I'm going to call the docket. When I call your name, please say present or here so I can acknowledge you. James Brown. Hannah Caldwell. John McLeod.
Here.
Hannah Hodge.
Council President with mine.
Thank you. You're Mr. Barron.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
John Baird. John Larry Baird.
John, Judge, remember, Mr. Baird will reset from, like Thursday, he's supposed to be at the meeting, he's dependent on others for rides, so, I'm gonna sit down and just want to check if we can find him.
Okay. Caleb Waller, waiver of arraignment, e-filed, approved, pretrial set February 9th in each one of his cases. John Piercefield. Oscar Duran. All right. Is there anyone whose name I've not called? Everyone? All right, who do we have that's ready? Anyone ready?
Mine's just gonna be a reset now.
All right, Mr. Pierce.
Miss Pierce.
John Piercefield, CR 2275. All right, Mr. Piercefield set for pretrial. Any pretrial motions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, there being no contested pretrial motions, the court will set this matter for docket call. Are you available on February? Which days are better for you, Tuesdays or Thursdays?
It's just, it never really matter.
Oh, I thought.
Or is, you mean on the 9th of February?
I will, yeah. I thought you were typically in Kaufman more on Tuesdays.
It's where they apologize.
Okay. All right, court will set Mr. Piercefield then for docket call on February 9th. That will be at 9 a.m. Let's see, on February 9th. Let me see, maybe I know where we're at. We'll be here in this courtroom on
All
February
right,
9th.
sir.
All right, and so Mr. Stevens, have you received an offer from the state at all?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Piercefield, I show that you're still delinquent on some of your pretrial release supervision fees. Have you made any payments today on that? How much did you pay? 150? Okay. All right, we'll see you back on February 9th. Ready, Mr. Green?
Judge, Mr. Baird, here's something we just need to vote on.
Okay. Mr. Barron, are you ready?
I'm here, I'm waiting on the yes, please don't.
Okay, wait, I'll put this way.
That's 1 minute.
I'll read that. James Brown, CR 21321. Come on up, Mr. Brown. All right, Mr. Brown. You are James Stevens Brown, correct? All right, Mr. Brown. I see that you are charged by indictment with a third-degree felony offense of criminal mischief greater than or equal to $30,000, less than $150,000. A third-degree felony carries a range of punishment if convicted and sentenced to not less than 2 years in prison or more than 10 years in prison. Okay, so that's the range of punishment that is applicable for that crime. It's my understanding that you intend to hire an attorney to represent you.
Yes, sir.
If I give you an additional 30 days, do you believe that you can have that accomplished?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have a notice of sitting? All right, Mr. Brown. A couple things. I'm gonna have you sign this notice of appearance. I have your reset date of February 9th on there, so that's the time that I'm gonna give you to get up your funds to hire your attorney. You're gonna sign this. We're gonna give you a copy of this in the yellow copy. After that, I want you to meet with Ms. Burns here, and she's gonna direct you to the pretrial supervision officer. And so you're gonna have conditions that you're gonna have to comply with while you're pending trial in this case. So it's called conditions of pretrial release. You're gonna have to report to pretrial release officer, pay a supervision fee, drug tested, all of those things until your case is resolved, okay? All right, so go ahead and sign right there. All right, yeah, you can step outside and the pretrial release officers are out there.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Duran. All right, this is CR 2265. Mr. Duran, it's my understanding that you have retained Mr. Nolan White. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Can't make it today.
Yeah, that's the message I've received from his office, but you paid him his final retainer. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got 2,500 on that.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Duran, is I'm going to reset you for additional hearing on your motion to revoke. We're going to set that for February 9th. All right, Mr. Duran, I'm going to have you sign this notice of appearance, and then we're going to give you the yellow copy. Remember, we're going to come back on February 9th. We'll be in this courtroom. And remember, just because a motion to revoke has been filed does not mean that you're not still on community supervision, okay? You still have to report to your probation officer, comply with all those things. If you commit any new violations, the state can amend their motion and bring those before the court as well, okay?
So if I need to contact my probation officer right now, give me a new date.
I would take this today and then I would go across to your probation officer, check in and see what they want you to do.
Yes, sir.
You're free to go. And you can check with Ms. Burns right outside. Oh, no, there you are. Do you know, who's your probation officer? Okay. Morning, Mr. Adams.
Morning, Judge, how are you?
I'm gonna wait till you sit down. I'm gonna call your name.
Okay.
I was gonna wait for you to sit down and I was gonna call your name, or you
That'd be fine.
can just stay standing.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Are you ready on Mr. McLeod?
Yes, sir. I don't have the appearance, announcement forms filled out yet. If you'd like to do that, we're make my announcements for the sake of efficiency here. We can be inefficient.
Let's be inefficient.
Okay.
Mr. McLeod, CR 22334. You come on up. All right, we're set for pre-trial today.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't have any pretrial before the court this morning. That's because I just recently got discovering Mr. McLeod's case. I picked it up last week. I would like a little more time to go through those materials to determine what pretrial issues I need to bring to the court's attention. And so I would ask, with the court's indulgence, to recess for a pre-trial hearing about 4 to 6 weeks out.
Any objection to the state?
Judge, I would just check these with you really quick. No objection, Your Honor.
All right, are you available on February 9th, Mr. Evans? I've got February 7th or 9th.
February the 9th would probably be a better choice.
Okay,
Looking at my calendar, Mr. Cloud, it means anymore. Okay, February 9th.
court sets Mr. McLeod for pretrial February 9th at 9 a.m. McLeod will be back in this courtroom. Stand by, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah, I went to the other courtroom, I didn't know what's here.
Yeah, we're a little bit nomadic, so that's why we try to make sure before I start calling nice eyes that give people time to find out where we're at. So hopefully soon we'll be back up our regular courtroom, but for now we'll have to make do.
Sorry for my tardiness, Judge. My rooster didn't crow earlier this morning.
Well, you weren't that tardy still. Didn't even make the top tardy list.
Oh, beautiful.
Hannah Caldwell. Ms. Burns, do we have the extension paperwork in this call? All right, this is a probation extension, CR 16351. All right, Mr. Caldwell, looks like you're asking the court to extend your period of community supervision for 1 year. It looks like you're set to expire on February 4th of this year, and the 1 year extension would extend you until February 3rd of next year. Why is it that we need to extend your probation?
To be honest, I really thought I was doing really good, had all my probation fees up to date, and then whenever I was going through everything with my probation officer, she's like, well, court fees. I was like, okay, no problem, so I thought it was about $300, and it turned out to be closer to 3,000. And I just don't have it, but, so I've spoken with my probation officer. She, informed me that if this is approved, it's a one-shot deal. So I'm asking for a year, but I plan on having it paid off within the next 90 days. And then she said that we, at that point, would then come forward and ask to, to end it. But I just didn't want to put myself in a position where, let's say, I wasn't able to. I wanted to make sure that I was able to complete it properly.
Okay. Well, I think that's smart to give yourself more time than less. And I'll tell you, it's the practice of this court that anytime a community supervision defendant is in compliance and working hard, and if they finish ahead of time, the court, almost by policy, as an incentive, grants that. There's certain offenses that the court doesn't, but for financials, if you get that paid off early, then I will grant that and release you from it. Okay. All right. The court's going to extend Ms. Caldwell's community supervision for an additional 1 year. So now February 3rd of 2024 is your expiration.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Ms. Burns. I know you are. I didn't see you over there. You're welcome. So, Mr. Barron, you're waiting on plea papers, and then Mr. Manning is working on plea papers with.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Manning's working on plea papers with Mr. Baird. All right, of course, gonna stand in recess until we get those done. We'll just let me know.
Well. Well, that's just the kind of thing makes it hard to make sure they don't jump on whether they're coming over and I don't, they pull from this kind of location, I don't remember what match came from office. We came back, but it did, so. But my conclusion here was maybe.
Opinions vary. Awesome.
I would be, male DNA was. The rational. Or they also like. Basically. I don't think that on here. I don't know what they said to the man, but. From that being. The test. It's more than 17 billion. Those numbers better.
Yeah.
You're big, you can't even pronounce more than there are people on the planet number.
Your trauma suit with this year.
Oh, yeah. For this to be it's really quickly. It's going quickly. Amber is calling from the previous list because Shannon. What? I can't understand why. So Amber is going to transition to say, yeah, that's slowly got to the real misdemeanor. She's kind of striving with one. She's got twice as much to do as usual. He is, I can't tell you where he ran to, but I'm betting he ran to the Duran and their sport. Oh, I was saying.
Yeah.
Specials.
Everyone's supposed to leave out the second. Links.
Okay, and they should be in the call out. We got things on. Nash.
Oh, he'll do it. So, I think, we're gonna have on the docket. That's what we're telling.
Okay.
He wants to do that.
About having the sex offender conditions added to his probation conditions. Okay. Do we understand that those were presented to him when he signed it and he signed up for probation?
I don't think it was. Checks.
Okay. So I'll get with probation and figure out what's the what that, let me get you, okay. Louise and Melissa will get you a packet. And then that way, I think we can do it outside of court, we just wait, making a record and all that, but we are gonna have it, then let's just get it done.
Our attorney, he's very nice. He was when the time that we had to. So I was just there. So this needs to be finished out and I got a shower. Pontius Pilate. Let's wash my hands of that. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get chosen Sunday.
You know what, day we have things that from the 24th, I think that's our next. Our dog's got all swirly, this judge, and adding some.
It's not until February 21.
February,
21.
okay. Oh,
Yeah. Keeping the game, you know what I mean?
I think we, but I think we want to get the police down to lesser charge.
We have to show. Those profit, actual money.
I don't know a whole lot about more and more. Okay. How is that on the probation law?
You need to check the back box. Not yet.
You can take those in the folder, just looking for. Okay. Here. Although, there's a lot to be said for not being in the office.
That's true. It makes money that way.
That. Like, I'm not struggling with 2023, I'm not struggling with one, but days are hard for me for some reason. Well, I think it's not going to be.
Basically what it looks like.
That was last night. I didn't even watch, but
It was rough.
I kept looking at the score, like, I was like, "Well, maybe I should watch, and then like halfway through the second quarter, like 28-7, I was like, yeah. I'm gonna try. I think it's good. And then the slow bounce score, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't win for them.
Yeah. And I went home at halftime. Like, I mean, it's part of the TV here, and good still come back, and then like the first score. After I was like, yes. I mean, I can't watch because no more football in September, so I watched every freaking second. Some sort.
This Salvation Army badge with that name tag that says. They're working on this Hodge's paperwork right now.
Thank you.
It somehow slipped between cracks.
We
We don't know what happened,
It's okay.
but it'll get done.
I appreciate it. You guys big Cowboy fans? or- Really?
I don't dislike Cowboys, I just don't. I'm a big college football.
What do you like?
I'm happy, but, yeah.
All right, you have better years.
I don't.
Had much of
I
trouble.
don't like college football.
Yeah. It's getting very disappointing. It was a shame, but these kids did a great job getting there, but they didn't, talent was just so outmatched.
Yeah. I told my dad, I'm like, Bill, I have Georgia no.
Yeah.
I want TCU to win,
Right.
and then
Right.
at halftime, I was like, well, I'm gonna.
So the second at 13 and a half, give them
I
the
wanted
big one.
the fact that TCU is even playing in the national
Right.
championship is like
Right.
why I love college football.
Absolutely.
But
But just wait when it gets to the 12-team playoff in 2 years, that's gonna be awesome. Because they'll get 4 games in the SEC and, you know,
yeah,
people got so part of Clemson, Alabama, now in Georgia, you know, so it's great to see new faces.
yeah, it's interesting.
I took them away, sort of, and also watched it last night. This person football game they watched. And I was explaining some of the rules there. Very quickly, you know, TC was in trouble, and so my son, James, is there, called Brad, hey, Dad, can I cheer for the team? I said, yeah, sure, why do you want to? But he's still out of, I keep respect.
Really, it's Manning fault, why TC was so bad.
Well, he would be like, oh, Dad, the sports fun again, and he'd like hide his face. I said, yeah, it's that.
Probably not, because we work at you all the time to control the internet, right? But there's a video that is like a toddler, like maybe 18, between 18 and 24 months, is watching football with the dad. And there's like somebody scores and the dad goes, no, and the little boy, and dad, he goes. He just start mimicking his dad. It's really funny.
We also had the conversation, he goes, I want to play football. I said,
And you're gonna be big enough, like,
I said, and unfortunately, your mom doesn't want to play football. And he goes, I said, and you know, I got to support mom.
I'm just like.
We're talking football, we're talking
Yeah,
football.
no, I'm just.
Nick, just so you know.
So, he sits there and he thinks about it and goes, well, if mommy thought it was alright to play football, would you let me play football? I said, absolutely.
John, that's not supporting mom.
And
Plant that seed.
so then he's and he goes, mom, like, did you want to ask her? It's like, no, he never asked her.
This may be a slippery slope you don't want to start down, but I did see that Canton's doing the flag football league. That would be fun, especially when you go their age, because it's like a cast scramble with people. It's just like pure madness, but no.
You have to understand, any boys are built to run in. That's just how it goes.
Yes, I know.
Not to chase after little, not chase after little flags, but I tried to play a flag football and I hadn't had the lateral movements. So they just shoot past me.
It's like, Chris, they hired him, and I was like, who did you play college football for? And he was like, I did, and it's like, what, yes. Like, yeah,
Judge Peggy, the attack on, but it's, I've been here for many years.
well, I'm an actress, so I'm always gonna look for my kids, always, so.
So it's all favor, absolutely.
Check up stairs and see if it's one of the costs.
Amazing, amazing.
He was like that at A&M too, if there were, he just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I was surprised for Kelly Bond, I thought he'd be a better, I mean, he's. Minnesota caught him in the second round pick last year, he's on another roster, I think, team, but I thought he had a better shot than. Yeah, Tannehill was the wide receiver in A&M, but another turned out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think of the new offensive coordinator? He was even all in for 3 weeks. It comes to, I mean, he's got a history, but he's a genius in a way.
That, I think is great.
Yeah,
Our team has clear discipline issues.
Yeah. absolutely.
But you know,
Hey,
he's
he
a great
wins.
coach, and maybe,
If you
maybe,
say it's in that trouble.
well, and maybe he's more of a do as I say, not as I do kind of coach. You know?
There, I would be a good thing, well, Fisher, you know, more of a manager, he's calling all the offensive players, but
Yeah.
you get a dedicated offensive quarter shit always.
Well, and
Talent's there.
And you know, basically said that Bobby's the only person who would fully release the reins.
Right.
So
Right.
I think we at least need to see what that looks like for better or for worse.
Give it a shot, yeah. I was in Vegas this weekend, so they had like about a year, 2 weeks, whatever, and then works jump ship and it just. You know, took them by, you know, this is like, but you know, they did see back, you know, a lot about the clubs, Arkansas, but the woman was like.
You know, the guy was like just good as they play up on.
You guys have to get it on to entries.
Yeah,
Boys will be on the.
I don't know. Richard Bathurst, maybe there's one up there. He had 3 target lights, I think.
Because you said you only had, you know, on. Maybe it's.
I don't think so. I think I signed all the entries too. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe we talked about that and I disagreed. I just remember her name. Yeah, I know what you're trying to about my daughter. I'm just trying to look at the. If I sent the. Documents. Oh, wow. I know how to solve this question. Forget what I sent you. Problem is, I had 5 emails from Richard last Friday.
Yeah.
So, and 7 emails from Richard on Wednesday. So it's hard to remember what all we've done.
I think it was on Friday, this one he filed.
Yeah, and see, my email is not to know which is gonna be. But I said, even the extension, but all, oh, right here. Entries agreed. 25,000 cash security on the hindering and interference, 50,000 on the Mandel. That's right. It was 200,000, so it only reduced it to 100,000 total.
25,000 for
Hinder,
okay.
25 on interference, 50 on Mandel. And that was not separate hearing today, so the judge signing was. Okay.
What was you say?
Dates and, here,
Sounds.
this, yeah. Dates, judge, judge just moved the house. Not enough for the charge, which. That's, I can see.
Do you guys have a PCF data?
I think we do, Richard
If you,
Richard was really good, but I don't remember what he said.
If you would send me maybe your y'all's certifications and his PCF.
Richard came in and you almost talked in person about this one, so we don't have anything.
Okay. Yeah, this morning, yes, he morning to Key West. He called me over the cheese over the security system. Like, we have videos that you can talk through. And so I heard this voice. Everything, I'm like, Richard, leave me alone. I'm like, he goes, this, I just want to tell that you morning for Key West system. Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. This is the one. The report reads, when you get like just on standing, it reads like he had it wasn't his girlfriend. That's why he was running, because she found more. Now it's like, so.
Okay.
I will email you and Judge the bookend packet, and I'll offer that same one.
Perfect. And are you gonna do that? Well, I guess I asked how you do that. So.
Yeah, I feel like, even though this case is assigned to time to apply, and the one who negotiated with Richard, I'll do the.
Okay. You show back up on tonight, okay? And make sure you get here. So. So if you have these other things we're doing, and if we have problems there, you can call, so they get on it. Problem. Well, this is Mr. Brown,
Yes.
as a joke,
I need,
I need a motion to be.
that's a valid and important thing for you to do. But more important for my purposes is putting on the record that Mr. Baird fully understands when he doesn't show up. I'm sorry, if he doesn't show up, let me fix that. I'm on probation.
How sure do you think they were in the front of my house contract? What, 89 million dollars of this?
Yeah, I think we'll wait and see what happens. But
I mean, who's gonna come up with it? I
we
mean.
gotta come up with a winning record and maybe even a.
I think it's a year or 2 years ago, but it's not going anywhere, so they wanted to extend the contract and 2 million years, neither. It's easy.
Well, yeah.
That is great money.
Now it's kind of like,
Oh, he wouldn't go anywhere.
Five minutes. Yeah.
I was saying maybe LGS has the dates program wrong, but.
No, I mean, she's working on it right now.
We're fine. Modern tomorrow is the 26th, but not 6th, so I can do that.
First, tax, we get one Joshua Williams since November 2021, that figure.
Mitch has been out to the jail and had both Hannah sign her papers, and so he's gonna appear by Zoom this afternoon.
I think I just allow, because he's not open on his senior side. But you. Yeah.
Mine is not much better. Judge is probably more used to reading my chicken scratch.
I'm usually how they people go a lot of promise. 77. Thanks. Thank you for providing this coverage. I appreciate it. Years older.
I think you should be down in judge department next
That's
time.
good. I went back to that first Monday. I will let Still get good crowds for that though.
Oh, yeah,
It's huge.
especially if like the weather's nice,
Absolutely.
it'd be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Execution.
Yes.
Needs to go on build it. I think much smarter, you'd be much more popular. Everyone person, these kind of. There are arguments, I would say that flat tax not below saying the poverty line.
Yeah.
If you are below the poverty line without deductions and that. Then I think that makes certain sense. I understand if everyone pays 15%, just picking a number, 15%. If you only make $40,000 a year, 15%. If you make $1 million a year, 15% is a lot of money, but to you, whatever. I understand that. I understand that's why we generally.
All right. Judge, I believe they are just finalizing this Hodge paperwork right now, but we can get Mr. Manning and figure out.
All right, you may be seated. All right, we are back on the record. Custom CR 22-266, State versus John Larry Baird. We were set for plea today. Mr. Manning, announcement to the court.
Yes, Judge, upon meeting with my client, we requested a reset for his plea for him to get it medicated straightened out. We've got the date of February 9th. I advised Mr. Baird that he has signed his reset, and I've explained to him the consequences that he does not appear on that date for that.
Any objections from the state? All right, court will set Mr. Baird then for plea for the court on February 9th at 9 a.m. We'll hope that Mr. Baird's able to get the resources he needs at the Andrews.
And Judge, I'm going to speak about this morning at the.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Duran, are you ready on Ms. Hodge? All right, Ms. Hodge, if you'll come up, CR 21-292, State versus Hannah Hodge. I showed that Ms. Hodge was on a pretrial intervention, and then there was an unsuccessful discharge. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
All right. So do we have the plea papers?
Yes.
Ms. Hodge, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you under oath. Ma'am, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
You can read it. All right, and what was Mr. Woodwhack, what was the purpose for the unsuccessful discharge from pretrial intervention?
The reasons, one moment.
Mr. Barron, do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you know off the top of your head when Ms. Hodge was discharged?
UA.
Was it UA for marijuana? Was that the sole issue?
Let me, hold on, just to verify your honor, I believe that's correct. She may have missed. Payments. Judge, it was a positive UA, and I'll see you, it was a little behind on monies. But that appears to be the sum of the violation.
All right, Ms. Hodge, before we go any further, you understand that if I were to approve the plea agreement today, it looks like you're charged with a state jail felony offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2 less than 1 gram, that carries a range of punishment if convicted in sentence to not less than 6 months in prison or more than 2 years in prison. If I were to approve the plea agreement today, it looks like you're going to plead guilty to that crime in exchange for the state's recommendation that the court review the evidence and defer a finding of guilt. That means not to convict you, but rather place you on 3 years of community supervision, assess a fine, court costs, reimbursement fees, restitution. If the court approves that agreement and you're on community supervision, and if you violate community supervision, just like you violated your pretrial intervention, you understand that the state could file a motion to adjudicate your guilt. That means to convict you, to bring you back before the court. If the court finds that there is any evidence that the court finds wherein you have violated your conditions of community supervision, the court can do a number of things. The court could convict you, the court could revoke your community supervision, and the court could assess your punishment up to the maximum 2 years in a state jail prison wherein there is no parole. Do you understand that? So tell me before we go any further, what's different today than when I first placed you on pretrial intervention? Why is what we're going to do today going to be different than what we did before? Because for all intents and purposes, it's the exact same thing. You're on probation, you're supervising, you're being drug tested, and you're not supposed to be smoking marijuana. You're supposed to be making payments and doing these things. Why should I approve this today? And why is today different than the other day?
So, I can have CUA right now, so I haven't smoked in 2 months.
All right. So Ms. Hodge, I ask you, you're currently represented by your attorney, Mr. Ronald Baird. Are you pleased with him as your attorney? Do you feel like you've had enough time to talk about this case with him and have all of your legal questions answered?
Yes.
Is there anything about the paperwork that you've read over and signed today that you do not understand?
Just thinking for these services.
Tell me what
Uh,
she hasn't been over those yet.
We just received those issues.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take a recess and I want you to go ahead and go over them now because I don't want any surprises. Okay. So I'll just stand in recess for a few minutes. I won't leave the bench and I'll give you time. If you want to take it out in the hallway, you can do so.
Thanks, John.
State versus Hannah Hodge. All right, Ms. Hodge, you've had an opportunity to go over the conditions of community supervision with your attorney. And do you have any questions about those conditions and what's expected and required of you? All right, and Ms. Hodge, have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental condition? And Ms. Barron, do you believe that your client is competent today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you explained to her her rights as they pertain to this case and also the advantages and disadvantages of a deferred adjudication plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think she understands those in the important rights that she would be waiving pursuant to this plea agreement?
I do.
All right, Ms. Hodge, then I've advised you as to the range of punishment. I've also advised you as to the consequences of violating a deferred adjudication. You still wish to go forward?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Hodge, then how do you plead to possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2 less than 1 gram? Are you pleading guilty to that crime because you are guilty of committing that crime and for no other reason? Has anyone threatened, forced, or pressured you to plead guilty today?
Yes.
All right, the court accepts the defendant's plea of guilt at this time. Is there any objection, Mr. Barron, to states 1, which was offered in the stipulation of evidence?
No objection.
States 1 is admitted and the court takes judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Anything further from the state? Anything further from the, nothing from the defense, okay. And is there, I noticed that there's no, let me see, there's a note on restitution here. What does it say?
I think this minimum $50 there.
Okay,
I think that's left over from what this funding paid. You're trying to mention.
no, good. All right, I'm gonna review the evidence briefly. All right, the court has reviewed the evidence. The court finds that there is sufficient evidence to convict Ms. Hodge of this offense. The court will follow the plea agreement in this case. Court hereby defers a finding of guilt on the charge of possession of controlled substance penalty group 2 less than 1 gram. Court places Ms. Hodge on 3 years of community supervision, orders her to pay a $1,000 fine, $290 court costs, $90 in reimbursement fees, and the remainder $150 restitution for the testing of the substance in this case. Ms. Hodge, you are hereby remanded to the custody of the community supervision department so they can carry out the terms and conditions of this. So I'm going to have you step forward to be fingerprinted by Deputy Everett, and then you'll meet with the probation officers and they'll give you information about the next steps. Okay. So you have, Mr. Barron?
Sorry,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
all you have today?
Yes, Your Honor. He's 78 degrees, so we know they're going outside.
What's that?
It's 78 degrees today, it's 77.
I'm a little jealous that you get to leave. I'm gonna be stuck here.
Just the car. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely.
And I believe that includes the court's docket for the month. We'll stand in recess. We'll be adjourned until 1:30.
Thank you.